All right, I think we are just about ready to get going. I just need to turn off this preview. Shuffle the chat window to the top here. Okay, quick introduction. Whoops, I just the chat window right back away. Let me put that back. Quick introduction. My name is foamyguy. I go by Tim. No, other way around. My name is Tim. I go by foamyguy on GitHub and Discord. In this stream, we're going to be working on some things related to CircuitPython, like we normally do. If you don't know anything about CircuitPython, you can find out more at this website, circuitpython.org. CircuitPython, it's a version of Python that runs on these tiny computers. There's a bunch of them in the background of this image here. And it allows you to write software, write programs that run on these tiny computers, typically that interface with like GPIO pins and things like that. It's kind of similar to Arduino, if you've ever heard of Arduino. It allows you to connect up different hardware devices, sensors and outputs and buzzers and beepers and RGB LEDs and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Specifically on today's stream, we probably will be working on some of the more meta things around the project. I got a couple PRs to follow up on. One for the actual CircuitPython.org website itself, one for the cookie cutter module that we use to create libraries, and then the other thing that I'll probably spend the most time on today is doing some work to try to search through all the libraries to find some things that might provide like good first issues for folks as we get ready to ramp up for Hacktoberfest. Every year for Hacktoberfest, they will change over, they'll like add an extra tag to all the good first issues across all the libraries, and folks who want to participate in Hacktoberfest can work on those issues and I think get a shirt or get a badge on GitHub or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what exactly it entails. I've never participated all the way myself in Hacktoberfest, but I'm kind of cursorily aware of it, and I know that we always try to find a bunch of issues around this time of year so that folks have some things to work on, since folks tend to be pretty excited about getting involved in open source projects around it. To wrap up the introduction, if you are interested in CircuitPython, if you want to help the project out, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can contribute, of course. It's an open source project, so the core code is on GitHub. You can dive in and work on the core code. It's written in C, if that's something that you're familiar with. If you're a little bit newer to programming and you still want to help contribute, you can contribute with Python code in all the libraries. On CircuitPython.org, if you go to contributing here, it will give you a list of all of the open pull requests and all of the open issues that are across all of the different CircuitPython libraries. And everything inside of here is most likely going to be Python code instead of C code, so a little bit lower barrier to entry. If you still want to help support the project, but you're not interested in like actually contributing or developing code or anything like that, or looking at issues or reviewing PRs, if you're not interested in doing any of that type of stuff, the other way that you can help the project is by purchasing hardware from Adafruit. This is their website, adafruit.com. They are a hardware and software company based out of New York in the United States, and they are the folks that are the primary financial backers behind CircuitPython. They pay a couple of folks to work on CircuitPython full-time and to foster the community around it and do all sorts of related things. So if you don't want to get involved in the development, but you do still want to help support the project, one of the other ways you can do that is by purchasing hardware from Adafruit, and you will be indirectly supporting all of the folks involved in the project. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in today. So like I mentioned, I have a couple of PRs that I am going to follow up on. One of them is on cookie cutter. I should have probably had the website pulled up for it here, but that's all right. We'll head over to it in the browser. So this is a PR that I created. I think I did a bunch of the work on this on the stream last week or the week before, I don't remember. And basically what I need to do right now is address some feedback that Ask Patrick W. left the other day, which is that the company should be uppercase, I think. So this should be relatively quick and easy to fix. We will just head over to Cookie Cutter inside of PyCharm. Let's see here. Too many things in my recent list. Cookie baking. Maybe oh, there it is, Cookie Cutter. Hey there, Dexter. You got a Feather M4 and a TinyGo. Too wet to play outside. What is a TinyGo? I'm not familiar with that one. Let me pull it up in a second. Let's go. We'll go new window. Can keep this open for later. TinyGo. What is that? Let's see. TinyGo. Let's see where that gets us. Compiler for small places. Okay. Embedded systems and WebAssembly. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have heard of the Go language. Okay, I didn't know there was a project to bring Go down to microcontrollers, it looks like. Huh, that's pretty cool. Microbit, Arduino Uno. Let's see what the complete list are we looking like. So you said a Feather M4 is what you're working on. Okay, so this is, I mean, it looks like it supports most of the same, a lot of the same boards as CircuitPython. You got your Circuit Playgrounds, your Clue, bunch of different feathers, both SAMD, NRF, RP2040, STM even. Huh. I've never tried out the Go language. Needs more speed for audio projects. Oh, okay. Does it run, I guess it probably runs a little faster? Well, let's see, it would, does it compile, it just said it compiled down to a new compiler. So it's not interpreting by the chip, which definitely would make it faster. So you write a Go script and then you compile it. Do you end up with like a hex or a bin or a UF2 or something that you then load on the microcontroller? Is that how this works? There's WebAssembly. Huh. Interesting. There you go. Should have this whole thing be clickable. It's like a small interface thing of mine. So I noticed stuff that's smaller than it should be. Feather M4 uses UF2. Okay, so you are able to write Go and then compile it down to a UF2, and then just load it onto the device. Interesting. I've never I've heard of Go before, and I'm sort of like tangentially aware of it, but I've never actually looked into it or seen the syntax or anything. It looks like it's a little bit like JavaScript. I mean, it's definitely different things like func instead of function, and there's no semicolons. Of course, printing works differently. This is probably just the most basic program too. I don't know if they have a more advanced example or if it's just hello world here. Interesting. Say package main, get the format import, and then we're able to say function main format.println, so it must run main automatically when the program starts then, I guess, right? Kind of like C or C++, but kind of not. I gotcha. Interesting. This even has a flasher tool in it, which is pretty cool. Compiled to WebAssembly. Huh. Neat. Let me make this a little bigger. Let's take a look at this code. I don't know, this may not. I think it might expand. Oh, you can actually see it pretty well in the stream, it looks like. I think it expands over to the right, but turned out we had enough room. Okay, configure some pins. WS2 812, that's a NeoPixel, I think, right? Looks like, yeah, setting up RGBs. I2C. Okay, we got a screen as well. This is nice. There's really not a whole lot of setup to get the screen up and running. So then do they have a bunch of arrays and things, modules that allow you to hook up to all these different hardware peripherals as well? Clear the display. Set up some variables, looks like for locations probably. So we're gonna loop. Oh, it's interesting, there's no... Let's see, there's nothing that tells it exactly 128 by 64 grayscale. The for loop syntax is interesting. It doesn't have like how many times it's gonna go. I guess, is that controlled by, what is that controlled by? X and Y? Or does for behave more like a while in a, well, but there's no condition either, I guess. We say pixel if it's not null, I guess, probably, or not, maybe not off or black or something. Driver packages, okay. Set the pixel to black. Okay, so this is probably saying if it's not black already, then set it to black. Else, if it was black, set it to white. It's probably going to update this, update the display. Doing a little pixel math here. Y is 0 or Y is 62, then subtract, well, then flip the sign on dy. I gotcha. And time.sleep. Neat. Okay, it's like a while true. It's like an infinite loop there. So it would have a, if you wanted it to end, it would have a condition, or it would have some kind of counter variable or something. Tell it how many times to go then, I guess, probably. Neat. Yeah, that's interesting syntax. I'll have to look into that sometime. It's crazy how many different ways have popped up to write code for these things. All right, so let's get into Cookie Cutter. Let's see here. Oh, let me put this chat back a little bit. Am I learning Golang? I'm not. Commander Trashton in the Twitch chat there. I'm not necessarily learning Golang. I was taking a peek at that code there, just because that's what Dexter is playing with today, and I had never seen it before. So I'm always interested to kind of check out new things like that. So, but I'm not necessarily specifically trying to learn it. I'm pretty heavy into the Python world, I would say. I like Python a lot. I could see the upside for sure of using that. So we were looking at TinyGo. I don't know how long ago you joined, but we were looking at TinyGo, which is a way to write Go language code and then compile it and run it on a microcontroller. And Dexter was mentioning in the chat there that it is more, it can run faster since it ends up getting compiled. So normally what we do on this stream is CircuitPython, which is actually getting interpreted by the microcontroller. So it runs much slower than, you know, a compiled language would. C or C++ or something like that. It looks a little bit, higher level of language, which is kind of where I'm at usually. Okay, so we need to find in the cookie cutter JSON. Actually, I think we just need to change the default on company here. So if If the user chose the Adafruit bundle, it gets set to Adafruit Industries. Yeah, right here. If we chose CircuitPython org, then we want to make this, I think CircuitPython, do we want org? Company. I guess it would probably make sense to be, org. Adafruit Industries. Honestly, maybe even organization. Might even be worth not abbreviating it there. Organization. Did I spell that right? Looks like it. Okay. And so as Patrick was saying, this gets used in the copyright text. I'm gonna guess, which files does that go into? All the files, maybe? Git grep cookiecutter.company. Let's see where we find it. Found lots of them. Let me actually let me do a gets it dash in will give me some line numbers, I think it is, right? Yeah. So let's just go down. Does anybody know with git grep, is there a way to force it to essentially just like hold the down arrow, like find all of them instead of waiting for me to page through them? Let's see. Right, so this is in license file, readme file. Oh no, the readme license, actually, readme.rst license. PI license. So pretty much all the files that are .license. Also the simple test. Okay. So we'll run this with our changes, and then we'll just check on a couple of these places, make sure it comes through all right. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, but definitely good to just go ahead and test it out. So I think one of these terminals, yeah, this one here is already set up in this little test directory. Okay, so we got a couple of different test libraries there. It's probably about time to delete these out, honestly, and start over, but I'll make another one here. Nope, sorry, not really git literate. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. Hey, thanks for watching along, by the way there, Commander. Let me see what we got here. So we want to go CircuitPython org, definitely, because that's what we changed. GitHub user default, author name, but me, company. Okay, so it shows our default there. We'll leave it default. Library name. We'll give it a, let's do it. I like to do display IO ones. That's what I work on a lot. Display IO related stuff. Display IO. I don't know. Maybe we could call this what? Let's see. Image animations. I don't know. I'm not actually gonna make the library. This is just kind of for testing, but description. Applying animations to images rendered with display IO. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I would say. I mean, I was doing a lot of this work anyway, and I kind of decided to start streaming it. If you're not familiar at all with the CircuitPython project or the community or anything, my stream is it's a little bit similar to Scott's streams that he does on Friday night. Scott's the kind of the head developer, CircuitPython, one of the core developers. And he streams on Friday evenings on a stream called Deep Dive, and he's usually working on core CircuitPython stuff. I don't dive into the core as much as he does, but I kind of like keep a similar format to him, where I we'll work on something and kind of chat back and forth with folks. Keywords, I think let's do widget, image, display, prefix. So this one we want to leave blank for CircuitPython org. Not much into Python, I gotcha. What kind of stuff do you normally work on? Let's see here. ID. Are you into Golang or not familiar with any of this stuff? So we have no PID. Bus device is going to be no, register no. Other requirements, nothing. Lisp, okay. PyPy will leave it default for yes. Sphinx will leave it default for yes. No pager, no pager. Hey, thanks, Dexter. Let me try that out real quick. It'll help me remember it if I actually run it once here, even though we already got the output. No pager. No pager. Spell it wrong, or maybe my version doesn't have it. Let's see what we got. No pager. Interesting, it says option no pager, but it's not showing the dashes. Git grep. Maybe it needs to go before the N? Or maybe it can't work with both of them or something like that? No pager. Now we got the same thing. I have no idea. It could be a version of Git. Rather chill here. Let's see. My own open source library, which I kind of need to continue developing. I'm too tired for that. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I got music going in my ear, but I don't pipe it through on the stream. It's real quiet too. It's kind of like just some songs that I tend to work to during the week. I'm guessing. Oh, Git no pager grep. I see. I see. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. Yeah, thanks for that tip, Dexter. I appreciate that. Git no pager grep. Pager grep. Cool. I might alias that to something. Git dash grep or something like that. That way I could have a shorter command. Because I mean, there's times where I want it to page if it's going to be like thousands of results, maybe. The majority of the time, I just want it to dump everything out, though. Nice. Hey, I appreciate that, Commander. Try to keep it nice and chill here for sure. Let's see. Okay. So let's head back to this terminal and let's go find our library that we created, which was what? Image animations. Let's open that up and make sure the copyrights look good. It's not going to be in recent. These are in cookie test. And then display image animations. We got a new window. And so is pretty much all the files that said license. So we got CircuitPython org right there. It's going to be in this one as well. It's going to be in this one as well. It'll probably be at the top of this one. Yep. It's going to be in most of the files, I think, honestly. Probably not these. These are like just the straight license code. Oh, I wonder if these are supposed to get filled in. It's kind of interesting. Adafruit PID, prompt, and cookie cutter. What does it mean? Yeah, so if you're making a driver for a specific piece of hardware, then you would put the little, like, it's usually 4 digits. Maybe there's some of them that are 3 digits, or maybe even there's some that are 5 digits. I'm not sure, but it's the like int that represents the project. So I don't know exactly what this thing is. Oh, it has a serial port. Okay, so yeah, if you were going to make a CircuitPython library to interface with this product, you would put this number right here, 5126. I think it also, yeah, says down here as well. you would put 5126 in that PID. And what that will do is, I'm not actually sure. I think it will make it link to the product page. Let's find out. Actually, we can use our newfound grep powers. We can say cookiecutter.adafruit PID. Yeah, inside the README, it will drop a link to the product page because that PID is part of the URL. That way it's nice and easy to find the specific piece of hardware that it goes with. But I tend to work on helper libraries a lot more than I do drivers. So, and a lot of times I'm working on display I/O stuff, which is like, you know, basically works on any device that has a display hooked up. So I don't tend to fill that in. But if we were making like, you know, something specific to the PyPortal or something like that, maybe we would drop in PyPortal PID. All right. So everything looks good to me. All the places that I saw, we didn't run through like 100% of all of them, but I'm assuming they're all probably good. And all the ones we have run across are Adafruit product ID. Yeah, I think they might product ID. I know it says product ID here, I guess. Trying to remember where it would be. I feel like they refer to it as PID somewhere else. I think that PID even stands for product ID. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so. But yeah, it would be, I kind of agree with you. It would be a little, you wouldn't have to know that shortcut or whatever, right? Is it an acronym? I guess it's not. I mean, it's kind of an acronym. You wouldn't have to know that if it spelled it out. And there's no like, it's not like we're limited on space really, or that's super long or anything. So I would probably agree with you. I think it'd be a little bit easier, a little bit more clear, basically. You know what else would be cool is if there's a way to get, so I never remember the right URL. Here's how I know to find these though. There's a page that will find you all the guides related to a product. Yeah, products, and then PID, and then /guides. And this will pull up all of the guides that have that particular product listed as a, you know, one of the ingredients, if you will, one of the required hardware items. It might be cool if that would leave a link to this as well, if you filled that in. Some of them have them on the downloads page. I went through and added a handful of them at one point. They're not always there for every product though. Honestly, that would make another potential good first issue. Honestly, it's super easy to go in and add that to the product pages in the CircuitPython org repo. It's probably an idea we could keep in mind for another good first issue. Okay, this is all looking pretty good. So we're gonna head back to Cookie Cutter. We're gonna push this and then leave a note back to Ask Patrick and say thank you for catching that. And then we got it fixed in the latest PR. Yeah, I think I misunderstood originally what Ask Patrick was saying. I was thinking the GitHub user, but I think just the line that it showed here threw me off a little bit. The company is the one that gets used in the licenses, so we're gonna say CircuitPython org company, say default value for capitalized. Push this. We're still targeting foamyguy. Python org choice. I'm sure that's got to be the branch, right? Let's double check though. Yeah. Okay. So that's cookie cutter. Let me leave a note back. Cookie cutter.company. All right. Okay. I will leave this tab up and we'll check back in a few minutes and make sure that the actions pass. I didn't actually run pre-commit locally. I mean, I guess we changed a JSON file, so I don't think it should even, I don't think pre-commit even checks anything inside that, truthfully. Actually, I don't even know if we have, oh yeah, we do have pre-commit, okay. I don't know if it checks anything in the JSON. We'll see if it passes. If not, I'll come back and fix it. So the next thing I want to look at today is CircuitPython org repo, git hub, so Adafruit, CircuitPython org. Yeah, org, the CircuitPython.org site, not to be confused with CircuitPython organization, which we also call CircuitPython org. It's tad confusing, but that's what we got. So this one, I looked at this, I think, last week as well. We could maybe review this one as well. I think a new bar, forward running RP2040. Ooh. Okay, so this one's waiting on the PR in the main repo for CircuitPython. Oh, what is Openmoco? Interesting. I never heard that before. Huh. Is that a different like free PID? Openmoco is a discontinued project. Wow, I've never seen this device. Looks like they had one that ran Android. Let's check out Wikipedia. Sometimes I'll go on tangents too. I'm always interested in just browsing around, learning about different stuff. What an interesting form factor with like a... Is that a button or a hole? It looks like there's a hole in it, so you could like clip it to something. That's weird they call it Neo 1973. It seems like it would be a year, but it's definitely not. It came out in 27. Huh. So they maybe don't produce hardware anymore, and they purchased a VID, and now they are letting other folks allocate them? Is that... Doesn't say anything about it in Wikipedia. Huh. I've never seen this device. What an interesting looking device. Yeah. Interesting. So it's kind of like another version of, oh, I don't know the name of it. The one that Scott's now kind of maintaining a little bit. Gosh, what was the name of that one? It's like free PIDs or something. OS PID. Looks like there's a couple of these things out there, I guess. I think there's something where, like, if you buy a new one today, this is it, PID codes. If you buy a new VID today, I don't think you're actually allowed to do this. But for a while, they didn't have that clause in the contract or whatever. So, like, folks that purchased it before they added that get to, like, keep their original terms. And so they're allowed to, like, I don't know if they're allowed to sell them, but they're allowed to at least let other folks use them like this. Good codes. Interesting. Openmoco. I'll have to keep that in mind. I've never designed a full piece of hardware, so I've never had a need for a VID PID. But it's good to know that there's folks out there that are no longer kind of using theirs, and therefore are cool with letting other folks kind of get in on it, because it's a little expensive. It's like $5 or $6 grand, I think, to buy the VID. So lots of folks who are just starting out are not not in a position to necessarily drop $5 or $6 grand on an open source project that they're just kind of maybe did for fun, or not necessarily intending on selling, or maybe they are intending on selling it, but like they probably don't have a bunch of orders just lined up ready to go to cover the cost of that. But high key 60. I do kind of want to see a picture of this board. Is there? Yeah, there are a couple pictures. So maybe we'll review this as well. I don't know. We could leave a review on this. Let me do the first one though that I came here for, which was the search. So we worked on this a little bit last week on the stream. This person, I think, is a Durapenza. This person added a way to filter the boards on CircuitPython.org. That's this website back here on the downloads page. There's a filters. They added a new filter for the MCU family. So like if it's a SAMD or an NRF or a RP2040, that sort of thing, you can filter based on those. This one did pass action, so I'm going to go ahead and close it. You can filter based on those families of the main chip, basically. And I did figure out after the stream last week, we left feedback. During the stream, we left feedback this image here where it was like, I think it'd be neat if we could do it this way, where sort by stays on the right, features go down below. And I took a couple attempts at making it do that on the stream last week, but we didn't get it figured out. But after the stream, actually, later on in the day, I did end up figuring it out. And it was actually insanely easy. The only thing we had to do is just add a div around those two those two sections that we wanted in that center row there, because that div, essentially, that outer div consumed the column, and then those two things inside are display blocks, so they got stacked. And so I think Durapenza did do that. And then I mentioned also something to them about bootloaders JSON. I think we'll leave that for a different PR. Is Dan online? I'm going to ask Dan about that. Not right now, okay. I think Dan originally added this stuff to CircuitPython.org. I'm curious if he has any recollection or insight about bootloaders JSON, if there's a reason why it has trailing commas. Technically, trailing commas, I guess, are not supported in JSON. My IDE throws a bunch of errors on it. So if there's no specific reason it was done that way, we should fix it up. This person offered to do it. They even have a commit here where they've done it already. So, but it is, I think it's part of a different branch for now. So let's get CircuitPython.org. Let me keep this one though. Go cookie cutter. Let's open a new one. This is Adafruit CircuitPython.org. I'm not sure. Is it just CircuitPython.org? Just CircuitPython.org. We could take this window. So I'm going to go back to master. This one hasn't been switched over to main yet. I'm going to delete component search, my local version of component search. I'm going to delete. and then I'm going to check it out again to make sure I have the latest version. So I like using GH, the GH tool for checking out branches from PRs. You can just say GH PR checkout and the number. GH PR checkout 756. So that will pull the latest version of component search. We need to run it. I don't remember exactly how to run it. It says in the README, I think it's like yarn bundle something. Bundle, nope, no yarn. Bundle exec Jekyll serve. Let's run that. Bundle exec Jekyll serve. So this will basically compile a bunch of the static files into to the actual HTML pages. Maybe. Seems like it's working. There we go. And that will serve it on port 4000, so we can now go localhost port 4000. And now we have a local copy of CircuitPython org running. So we can check here. Processor families do show up now. So we can do like check at malsamd, and it will narrow us down to only SAMD based devices. Similarly, we could take that off. You know, Raspberry Pi, this would show us all of the like RP2040 based devices. Ooh, this is neat. Never seen this before either. It's a Pi Moroni project. How much is this? £8. How much is that in dollars? Is it pretty close in dollars? Oh, it's coming soon too, though. It's not out yet. I guess this changes all the time, though, right? It might not be the same by the time it's released. Dollars. Well, let's go USD, I guess, maybe. USD. $80. Okay. Interesting. I've never seen this device. I really like the design on the board here. Screws? What are these little things? 32-bit dual-core gaming system, 240 by 240. It's a little bigger than Pi Gamer. Interesting. I'm always interested in game-related devices like this. I like these little handheld game devices. Like Pi Gamer, I like to play with a lot. Pi Badger is similar, or Pi Badge, I think it's called, not the Badger. Interesting. I wonder when this will release. Sign up. That's cool. Let's head back here. Our filter does seem to be working. Find ESP. You can also search these things as well, I think, instead of filter. So you can say like ESP32S2, and it will find the same set of devices, even though it doesn't have it in the name. Like a lot of them have ESP32S2 in the name, so they would maybe work anyway, but some of them don't specifically. So like on the live page, CircuitPython org, it would not find all the same ones right now. Yeah, in fact, this only found 4 on the live page. But on this local copy, it found 21 because of that new MCU filter. Or I should say MCU search in this case, since I use the search bar and not the filter. What is that thing? Goes inside a robot, it looks like. That's pretty cool looking as well. Okay, let's see what else, if they said anything else changed in this. The functionality seems fine to me. I left a couple of notes last time. There's no bootloader for Raspberry Pi. In the ROM. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? These ones do have a different type of bootloader going on. Then, like, the rest of the CircuitPython devices have a more traditional bootloader that you have to load by yourself. I mean, there is still a layer on the RP2040 stuff that you load, right? Like, or am I thinking ESP? Maybe I'm thinking ESP. Yeah, now I'm second guessing myself. I think I'm thinking ESP. There's that one you have to, I load it, you can use, yeah, you use ESP tool to load it. You can use ESP tool, or what I've been using lately is the website one that Melissa made. Website flashing tool. I don't know the name of it, I usually search it up to find it. A lot more convenient than ESP tool though, in my mind. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll leave this. The other feedback here was about the trailing commas. I think we'll leave that for a future PR. I wanna check with Dan and see if Dan has any insight into why it was like that, or if it's all right to change. I mean, we could pull that other branch and see if it builds all right, but I assume it would. I mean, surely making it follow the spec has got to be a good thing. Okay. And that's just to make sure it's not actually fixed in this one, right? I think we want to leave it for a future one. Yeah. So you can see here, my IDE is like, there's an error on every line, pretty much. There's all these trailing commas at the end of the objects or dictionaries or whatever they're called in JSON. Actually, outside the spec, you're not supposed to do that. Okay. And he says there's a reason, they say there's a reason for it not to be listed in bootloaders. That was the only other thing I had mentioned. I wonder if we would want it to be blank like this. What does it do when it's blank? So if I go to an STM, does it have that bootloader section? Oh, we could use the filter. Let's use the filter. STM. All right, but it's gonna use the search as well, so STM. Oh, this is what's on the Pi board, okay. No, it just doesn't show the bootloader section. Okay. And then any of them that do have this filled in, it would show the bootloader section. So if we go back and we go to ESP, it'd be nice if it would remember what your filter was. I don't know. It would have to modify the URL or something, though, I think. Yeah, this one will show this section here. letter because it has a value inside this dictionary. Oh, Callie's here. Callie's the outdoor cat. Hangs out at our neighbor's house, and she comes over and scratches the glass when she wants food. Can't handle. Yeah, I kind of agree. I've gotten used to using the trailing commas now because of Python. JSON. And the thing is, like, it's technically not supported. Like, my IDE throws an error for all this stuff, but Jekyll, the tool that runs the site, the tool that like compiles the site, seems to have figured it out fine. So they must have built like extra handling to make it actually be able to parse the, technically incorrect JSON. Everything is looking good to me here. I think we'll approve this for now, and I'll mention that I think those commas could go to a future PR. Tours. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, they might have done tours during, before COVID came along, I think. Certainly that'd be less likely to happen, I think, right now or anytime during the last year and a half, or however long it's been, but I don't know if they did tours. The thing about doing tours too is you have to like have a person, ready to be able to do that all the time, or at the specified times that it is. So then it's like a person who's got to like not be doing whatever they would normally do throughout the day or throughout the week. Definitely would be cool. They did do I think they did a video at one point. If you haven't watched the video, I would definitely check that out. I'm pretty sure they did a video where they like went around, like, I don't know, I assume probably PT walked around and they showed all the different sections of the factory, all the different machines they have and stuff. Yeah, it would be super cool though. I agree with you. Tested the later commits successfully. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna approve this. I will not merge. I don't even. Well, yeah, I guess I do have the rights to merge it, but I won't merge it for now. I've never. I don't think I've ever merged anything in CircuitPython org, and I know there's some other folks that maintain it, like JW Cooper. I think maybe is Justin. I'm not sure. Maybe that person's name is Justin. I'm not sure though. Melissa does a lot of the PRs for it. But I'll approve it, and then we'll wait and see if anybody else comes along and merges it, and if it's still not merged by Monday during the meeting, if no one has come by to offer any other reviews or merge it or mention anything in a comment, then I'll make a note in the meeting notes and I'll bring it up. We can ask about it, and that'll get the attention from the right folks on it for sure. Get it pushed forward after that. Okay, so next thing, so those were the two follow-up things I wanted to do. Let's look at this keyboard real quick. We'll take a short tangent here to look at this keyboard, and then we'll get into the next thing I want to work on. So this one is the R5365. So let's go 5. That sounds, yeah, that sounds too high. This is on the core. This is on the core. We want 762 actually. Maybe we should stop this while we check out. 762. We can run it. Alright, takes it a second to build. Wonder if it's worth trying incremental build. I wonder if it builds faster because it keeps some of the stuff. I don't know. Of course, if we check out a new PR, we probably want a fresh copy anyway, so. So we'll go back to local version. Back to index. Let's close a couple of these. Let's go downloads. This was what, PyKey 60, I think? Is that right? Yeah. M60. PyKey 60, there we go. Oh, yeah, I saw a picture of this during, I think this person posted a picture of it during Deep Dive yesterday in the chat. $55. Not bad. RP2040. It's got hot swap. Little hot swap plugs. So it probably, I guess $55 probably comes without without keys probably, right? So you still have to buy keys. Yeah. No switches, no stabilizers, no switch plate. No case, no keycaps. Case would be kind of tough, I don't know. They have like a recommended case or something? Oh, you can, okay, you can buy a case extra if you want. Only one in stock right now. $10 for stabilizers. Huh. It's a pretty cool looking keyboard. I can't use regular keyboards anymore though, especially not one this small. I don't think I could use. What is this? The caps lock? Well, the image doesn't load. That's interesting. Huh, can't see the image. Weird. That's an interesting symbol for caps lock, that it would point down. I assume that's caps lock. I do like the way these frosted caps look. Let's make sure this link is good. Yep. Sure this link is good? Nope, this one is not. So maybe we'll leave feedback. Oh, well, no, this is just not merged yet, right? This is in CircuitPython.org. Well, but yeah, but it went back to GitHub. So after it gets merged, that one will work. And in fact, we could check it by going to this branch. So if we said not Adafruit, but JP Constantino maybe? And then the branch also. Yeah, so that'll work once it gets merged. Okay. And it's not merged yet to the main core repo, so these aren't filled in. Oh, I went back to the core. Should close this. Keep getting confused on that one. They added the MD file and the 3 pictures. That's it. I think it's just 3 different sizes of pictures. Like one of them is this one of them is this one. I don't know what the third one is. Yeah, seems like 3 different sizes. I don't think GitHub wants to show me these unless you go like, there we go. Whoa. That's interesting. Super big one. Medium one. So I will say if the if that PR that we were just looking at, the filtering and searching by MCU family, if that gets merged, then it would also be good to update bootloaders.json to include this so that it will come up in the filter, but it probably makes sense to wait until that actually gets merged to leave that as feedback. Locally, download page looks good to me, and I'll expect it to work before merging due. Okay, so the next thing that I want to work on is probably what we'll spend the rest of the time on, I'm guessing. We'll see how it goes, but it will be trying to run MyPy. Let me pull a couple of these tabs over. So basically what I want to do is try to check all of the libraries in the bundle to find libraries that have functions that don't have type hints. And then ideally I want to make a way to easily create an issue for each of them, or maybe like one per library or something, that will point out the functions that are missing the type hints. And then we'll mark those issues as good first issue, and then they will be eligible for Hacktoberfest when it starts up. So I started messing with this a little bit. There's a couple of these. And I found this tool, MyPy, which is made for checking types, I guess. I've never used it before. Could maybe pull up the introduction, or pull up the GitHub maybe. Just Gitter chat. Optional static type checker for Python. You can add type hints from PEP 484 to your programs, and then you can use MyPy to check them statically. Find bugs in your programs without even running the program. Can mix in dynamic and static typing in your programs. You can always fall back to dynamic typing when static typing is not convenient. So the type hints are like this part here, :int. This is telling us that this argument is going to be the type int. And then this one out here is the return type. It uses this arrow to say, like, this is going to be the type of thing we return. In this case, it's returning an iterator. Python 2.7 we don't care about. And I think I already got this installed because I was able to run it. I don't know when I got it installed or how, but maybe I got it. Was it docs? Does it have? It's the repo that type should. I found a repo one day that contains a bunch of stubs for other projects. I don't know if that was this repo or not. Maybe that's how I got it installed though. Let me pull my chats back up here. Can't join the stream, but here I am. Yeah, no worries. Well, I guess you probably can't hear me. All right. So you can run this tool. It's kind of like Pylint, essentially. You run it on a module, and then it will look through the whole module and find, you know, warnings and errors and things like that. And all the errors are related to the typing. So I ran this on, I just picked image load library because I had it handy, and to figure out how to run this. And so I was able to run MyPy, the name of the module, or name of the package, I guess. And then I use this disallow untyped defs. So this is the flag that will make it specifically look for all of the, you know, all the functions and make sure that they have type hints. So the first one it found is right here. They're a little more complex. I think I'm gonna play around with this one though real quick. I'm also on, I must be on a very old branch. Let's switch to main. Let's pull the latest. And then let's rerun this. Might be all the same stuff, but okay. So if this had type hints, it would be like file. I don't know if that would be file. Import. Maybe not. That's the thing, is I'm not entirely sure. Type shed standard lib. I don't know if that would be the right thing. I mean, I don't think we could import that on CircuitPython anyway. So I do want to figure out like what we would put here, because I don't want to create a bunch of issues, especially like good first issues, until I know like how to solve it. I want to put in the issue some information that would help some folks be able to solve it if they're brand new. So return would be easy enough. This one returns a tuple of ints, because this one has types in the, well, it has the return type at least in the doc string here. Let's look back at this example. So it goes before the colon. Whoops. Before the colon. So for return type, it would be arrow, is it probably capital T tuple? Gonna guess. Tuple int. Lowercase? Lowercase. Built-in tuple cannot be parameterized. So this is probably not right. Probably not right. Got coffee and a headache and a mystery. Headache's no good. Coffee and a mystery can be fun though. Type. Does look like capital T tuple. It should be capital T. Should be capital T. Unresolved reference. Typing. PPM. I'm not even sure what a PPM image is. Do we have a test for PPM? PPM load? So I do want to make sure that this will actually still run on CircuitPython. I got my PyGamer here. I don't have the camera loaded up right now, but oh, nice, this came back. Does this import resolve? No. So maybe we can't do this. This will raise an error. I know this has been done in some libraries, though. Let's see if we can find an example of it in something. So, I want to say maybe I think like Samurai might have done a fair amount of these in different places. This just says list. Okay. Okay. I see. So we just catch the error. I see. Okay. Go back into here, we would want that try catch around the import. And then we would still go ahead and do the tuple here. Okay. I don't know what the type file would be. String. Closable. Type hint. Okay. This does make sense. See the deprecation though. So does that mean we're not supposed to use these? Okay. The ones inside of IO, typing.io.textio, binary IO. Seems like those are what's deprecated. Just typing.textio, binary IO. Okay, so this is BPM ASCII. I assume. Does this get used anywhere? I assume ASCII, that would mean we want text IO, not binary IO. I already forgot it. It's no pager? Pager? Buffer. Oh, it's just using a bytes IO, in fact. Maybe it would be binary IO? It is binary here. Doesn't show any warning. I don't know if it's... If I have this in pip, would it be looking at my one in sight packages though? Hopefully that would make it look at this one specifically. It shows here binary IO. Okay. Okay. It's interesting that I don't really know what a ppm file is. It is interesting this is in a ppm ASCII. ppm ASCII, but it ends up, I mean, based on the test at least, it seems like it's not. I don't think this is ASCII, is it? This is binary. I don't know though. Like I said, I'm not familiar with ppm image at all. I don't even know. Is there one in here? Yeah. Does this work? My computer? Yeah, sure does. A little small, but huh. Okay. So I think we should write a kind of like a template that we could use for the issue. Because eventually what we'll want to do is kind of like run this test. We'll want to run this test here. Whoops. Find all the things that say missing type annotation and put them into an issue with some other helper message that hopefully like points to a spot that shows you one of them that's been done already. So let's go, there are missing type annotations for some functions in this library. The following locations are reported by MyPy to be missing type annotations. And then I think it'd be cool if we could do a list. I think GitHub, it supports making a checklist inside of the issues. I think, right? I'll just go to one of mine. Do you do this maybe? I don't know if it needs the space or not. I guess I could have previewed. No, that didn't work. Maybe they're supposed to be empty. No, that doesn't work either. Okay. I know this has been done before. GitHub issue checklist task list. Dash first. Did I just leave the page I was on? I must have just left it. Okay, so dash space. Yeah, there we go. Now they can be checked. Not in preview mode, it looks like, though. They can be checked by other users as they get done. So I think it'd be nice if we found all the ones that reported missing the type annotation, and then we put like this part of it into checklist like this. So it would fill in here with like this information. So could do that with Jinja templates. Jinja 2, same way that cookie cutter works, I think. I will be right back. I'm gonna run to the restroom and then come back. Okay. I think I'm gonna make a new repo to hold some stuff to do all of this. New. So this is missing type issue maker. And I'm gonna open it in PyCharm. New window. And I'm gonna make file issue template. Yep, it's just gonna be text. I'm gonna fill this in. And I'm gonna I don't know if we need that space or not, I'm not sure. For found missing type in missing types, type annotations. int4. So eventually we're going to be able to fill this in by making this into a list that we got returned by that mypy command. Well, let me scroll the chat down here. Okay. And so here it will be hopefully we can end up with just a list of the first half of this. So then it would not need any further manipulation. It would be basically just found missing type. So let's, we want a little bit of other information here as well. So the import needs to be wrapped in try except catch the error for missing word. There's an example of how that is done here. We'll link to that one we found in display text. Once imported, the typing annotations can be added to the function signature. Do they call that a function signature in Python? Example of a function that has had this done already. So let's be a little more specific even. Once imported, typing annotations can be added to the function signature. Annotations for the argument types and return types. So then we'll link to this, I think. And I think we should also leave them with some, if you're stuck and need help. If you are attempting to resolve this issue, and need help, reach out to us on the Discord. I think we'll just point him to the Discord. Discord. Yeah, that's probably good. You're attempting to resolve this issue and need help. There's supposed to be a comma there. I'm terrible about when to use commas correctly. Feels like a pause though, right? That's what they say. It's supposed to be a pause. You're attempting to resolve this issue and need help. Reach out to us on Discord. There's a link. And the help with CircuitPython channel. Okay. So we have our two links to the one that is done correctly. We have our list that will iterate over all the things we found and put a checklist item for each one. So I'm going to save this. Next, I'm going to make a file find missing type annotations. This is going to have a function path to module. I guess we should put typing in this, right? Make a library, make a project all about finding types and then don't include. So this is going to return the list. Can we tell it the type too? Does this mean it's going to return a list of strings? So we basically want to run this command on the module that came to us. And then we want to get the results and split it into a list. So how can we run a shell command from Python, get the results as a string? Python run command get results as string. Subprocess check output. Runs a SQL program, takes only arguments as input, returns the result exactly as printed to std out. We need to write input to std in, then use run and popen, but we don't need to write any input. We just need to pass arguments. Okay, that seems like what we want. Process.check output. So this is MyPy. Path to module. was the flag? Disallow untyped defs. Output. Is this mad? Unexpected types. It's supposed to be a list? That's supposed to be a list. There we go. Oops. I think this one's 2 lines probably. This one's an empty line at the end. Okay, so this is gonna get the full results. We only care about, well, we need to iterate over these. For line in output dot split new line. New line. If line if line ends with function is missing type annotation, so we only care about lines that say this for right now. The problem? String. Not how you do ends with. Seems like the same as these. Bytes, tuple bytes. I don't know why it thinks it shouldn't be a string. If it ends with that, then so we're gonna also make found missing annotations as a list. If it ends with that, we want to add to this list the first half. So let's say maybe we could split on this. Append line split colon space error colon space, and we want the first segment. It'll be the first half. This is wrong too. Bytes got string instead. So maybe this is returning subprocess. Does it check output? encoded bytes. Subprocess dot check output mypy. Oops, this is wrong. mypy. Up. Adafruit. CircuitPython. Image load. Capital L. Lowercase L. Capital L. Image load. For image load. Adafruit image load. This allow untyped defs. Output equals process error. What's this? Can I get rid of this? Why is this here? Non-zero exit status 1. So what did we do wrong? mypy typed defs. This worked. Called process error. Can we see the error? Did I just typo something here? Seems okay. Process error. Can we see the error called process error? The output in the output attribute. So can we go, of course, in the REPL. Try. And I can't get it back. I'm not going to use the REPL. Try Find missing annotations, path, up, Adafruit. Load. Image load. Disallow untyped defs. Accept call, what was it? Called process error. As print e dot output. Main. Is that right? I don't. That's not right, is it? All right. It's like if we need something else. It's like if it's not def. That's what it is. If name. Name equals main. If we're running this. Takes one positional argument, but two were given. Yeah, this doesn't go here. Run it again. Maybe MyPy, it counts this as an error. Maybe it counts this as an error. Like it did exactly what we wanted, but maybe it counts it as an error. Print error raised. Let's make sure this is going to the accept. Yeah, it is. But this looks, all this looks right. Stuff looks right. So how do we convert a binary string to a regular string? Can we just do string? Bytes. No. Doesn't look right. Not sure what the current error is, so approach this. It returns bytes. You want to use output.decode. Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So .decode. There we go. Yep. Thank you, Dexter. Appreciate it. So this would have the same thing. Well, and I guess what we're seeing here is that it's not going to return. It's going to raise the error. So we're going to need to catch the error, get the output from there. It seems like MyPy is just returning the error. Yeah. It's returning the error always. Unless if it doesn't find anything, probably, then it would not return the error, I guess, probably, but not output anything, or maybe just output everything is okay or something like that. So we're going to want to go try, we're going to want to put this in here, try to success output, which we're not even going to use, except subprocess called z output. I'm just going to call this output since really this is what we're after. Output.decode. Print no missing types found. This will go inside of accept. Yeah. Return found missing annotations. We don't need to catch out here. Found print found. There's no split. Oh, this is not calling the function. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So now we have a list of these things. It'd be nice to cut off the // at the beginning here. It's not that big of a deal, but we're going to be posting these issues on the repo, so like, you know, we don't really need to have that part. So what if we do, how do you do that? Is it like this? Yeah. Colon. Okay, perfect. Now we have a list of all the ones we found that are missing type annotations. So now we're going to take that list and use it to render this template. That list is going to get passed right here. What is this? Oh, interesting. Created this file. Huh. Yeah, I have no idea how to do that. I've always used Jinja with Django. Actually, I think Django does not technically use Jinja, but it's something very similar, and you can if you want. Cookie Cutter, I guess, is the other way I've used it, but I also don't know how it works there. Jinja to templates Python. Okay, I should have this already. Import Jinja 2. Yeah. Have it already. Basics. This way is to load templates for your application using a package loader. We'll create a template environment with a loader that looks up templates in the templates folder. That does not sound like the simplest way. Okay. So let's go directory templates, put this inside. Create a template environment with a loader that looks up templates in the templates folder inside your app. We really need a whole environment? Can I not just say like render the can I not just point it to the template directly and then give it the template in the context? Hmm. Go to escape. Is there a more basic example? Yeah. This is what I want. This is exactly what I want. I don't need an environment. I don't need all that stuff. I don't even need a templates folder necessarily. I don't really care about escaping too much either. I don't think, right? We're not gonna have anything unsafe. We're not going to HTML. We're not using JavaScript. We're not doing anything like that. It's just all text. We should make a file. This file is gonna be what? This file is gonna be. Yeah, see you, Dexter. Thanks for hanging out. This file is gonna be make issue description. Import Ninja 2 template. The issue template is a new template from open templates issue template read read close e.render this returns. So let's say rendered template text issue template. So we want to put in this missing type annotations equals, and this is the list that we got back from running this. So we can say from find missing import find missing annotations, find missing annotations. Okay. And then let's write it to a file as well for now. Open output text write f.write rendered close. So this should find all the missing ones, substitute them into the template, make our checklist, render it into text, write it into output text. If everything works, that's what this should do. Okay, didn't crash. We got output text. Okay. So that looks pretty good. We have extra spaces. Let's get rid of those. I think we do that by putting these. Try it again. Ooh, okay, we want one space. Yeah, we want one space. We don't want everything. So maybe one beginning. That looks better. It'd be nice if I think we had one space between this two. I don't know if GitHub will make this into a task list if it doesn't have a space before it. We have extra space here actually. Interesting. Still comes out without space. So maybe we want not here, but here? Maybe? Okay. I gotta run to the restroom again. I'll be right back. Okay. So this got rid of new lines between each row of the checklist, which is not what we want. So we need to maybe put, get the chats back, okay. We need to put maybe, I don't know if this one would affect it. There we go. Okay. Get rid of the extra line there. That is what we want right there. So if we were to post this as an issue, oh, it's in there. I'll just edit the one I have already. So it might be nice to format these. I was kind of hoping these would get one boxed, truthfully. Discord link works. I launched my Discord app. But this part looks good. I got exactly what I wanted here. So if we get rid of this part, will these one box? No. Is it because it's not part of this project? Make a difference either. Isn't there a way to do that? GitHub. Something else. Yeah. Copy permanent link. Paste your permanent link in a comment. Isn't that what we did? Is that not what we did? I don't know, this looks the same. Isn't it? I mean, obviously it's a different project and it's a different file name, but... GitHub.com, user, project name, blob, big long UUID, location inside the project, file, hashtag. We had the dash before. Maybe it's because it's not in this project? That's my only guess. I feel like you can do it to outside projects, though. We should... Well, it's not going to be the same imports every time. Maybe instead of linking on this one, we could just include a literal code. Yeah, I guess we could do that on both of them, honestly. Yeah, why don't we include literal code here instead of links? Yeah, let's do that. So back to here. This would be template instead of this link. Python. Python. I don't know if these need space or not. Put these back together. Oh man. Oh, that's terrible. Reopen those. Okay. I need all of that actually, just this. Close this. I need it. Okay. Run this, get the output, copy it back to our test issue, edit, paste, date. There we go. Okay. This is looking pretty good to me. Underscore underscore init got bolded. Because of the two underscores, probably. We put this in backticks. Would that fix it? Oh. It's got head OBS OBS setup issue yesterday. Beginning of the stream. Edit. Back to here. Grab this again. Do I wanna? No, that's alright. Man. Alright, got some spam in the Twitch chat there. Where were we? We want checkout. I don't know if I copied this. Let me copy it. Not checkout, but output. I don't know why I said checkout. There we go. And init, yeah, these have underscores now. So that looks better. It's kind of jarring how it's got black lines on everything, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. I don't know if there's a better way to do it. So then another person can come by and check these as they get done. So I think I think this looks pretty good to me. I think the next steps would be trying to get this to run on every library in the bundle. And then the next question becomes, do we want to just output this for all of them and then go through and make the issues somewhat manually? We want to try to automate making the issues as well using GitHub API. GitHub make issue URL. Is it possible to escape the underscores with a leading slash? Let me try that. Template. Let's get rid of these. Oh. I would need to do it inside of the code that's finding them. Do both of them need it, or just one before the double? Now it's italics. Maybe they both need it. There we go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Nerdoc. I appreciate it. Let's go. Let's do, dot replace. We need to replace every underscore. No, that's not true though. These ones don't. Maybe I'll say replace double underscore with slash underscore slash underscore. Hopefully that should do it, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I do like that nicer. I mean, it's not terrible to have those code blocks, but kind of like zebra thing going on there. I don't know what it looks like in the non-dark theme. Maybe it's not quite as distracting, but okay. So this looks pretty good to me. Like I was saying, I think the next question is, do we want to try to automate the creation of the issues, or how much do we want to try to automate the creation of the issues? Or do we just want to like spit out an output text, like one for each library that needs it, and then go through and copy paste them into the browser? We need to make sure to include the label. Good first issue. CLI tool. CLI tool seems interesting. Is there a limit to the length of a command? Could we include the entire rendered template in here? This is what I was thinking originally. This one definitely has a limit though, because it's a URL. I don't know what the limit is, but there is definitely a limit. Window. So, how could we... Let's play with this a little bit. We don't want Python. Don't need a signee. We want to figure out how to fill that in. I also want to make sure to put labels. Label. Oops. Oops. Oh, geez. Okay, it ran the Python script, that's fine. I don't know if this will run a shell script, honestly. So it's not bug. What would make the most sense, honestly? Like... Definitely good first issue. Is there... I think there's a documentation? Yeah. I don't know if we'd want to put Hacktoberfest, or if that will get done with some other script. I'll probably run all this by Kattni before I, like, actually hit the button to make it all go anyway. Let's start with good first issue and documentation. Help wanted. Probably wouldn't be a bad one either. I don't know, do we use that? has help wanted? I don't know. So how do I pipe? Kind of like Linux pipe contents of file to argument in command. Xargs. So if body, I don't know if we need the quotes anymore. Xargs cat output text pipe. This do it? I'm gonna copy both of these. I guess I might as well just make a repo for this stuff, and then I could make issues on that repo. Yeah, why don't I do that instead of keep using the Etch-a-Sketch? Let's go make this to a repo. New repo. foamyguy. Missing type issue maker. Could have done license and some other stuff, I guess. Oh well. Actually, let me go back and do that. Okay. That's weird. They should turn this red or something, or like not have a none. Like it should make you pick it, or it should be more clear that that's what you need to do. I guess this is going to be weird though, because I'm going to try and hook it up and it's going to say it's different. Let's see how it goes. Get init, get remote add foamyguy. Or it doesn't seem like it created a get ignore anyway. Right, I mean, there's no... Oh, it did. It did. Okay. Get pull. Get branch. Set upstream to foamyguy. I'm on master. Get check out main. Get branch main. Valid object. Oh man. This doesn't let me do new branch. B main. Okay. Now we're on main. Get branch. Set upstream to foamyguy main. Main. Main does not exist. Should have just done this without files. Yeah. That worked. Doesn't track branch. Set. Maybe I just needed to fetch. Okay. Okay. Local branch is hooked up to remote branch. We have these files. This does not have the most important thing, in my opinion, which is .idea/star. Don't want to push any of that. Commit. Okay. Well, we can do it this way. Add. Commit. Commit. Ooh, we made it. I am not, my Git skills are not great, although I've come a long way. Like, I managed to get through that, and we didn't wreck the repo or local copy or anything. Everything seems to work now. It's all hooked up, so definitely made progress. This is in now, so now this command, if we run it inside of this repository, I assume this is going to try to make an issue on this repo. So is there anything else we want to do before we try to run this? I don't think so. Let's try it. Oh, you know what we'll need actually is chmod +x make issue dot shell. Yeah. Okay. / make issue. Yeah, fingers crossed. That seemed easy enough. Did it work? I have an issue. Has the right labels. Wow. Oh, so close. Okay. White space got deleted. White space got deleted. That's actually really close. I'm surprised that that went as far as it did, honestly. I've never used GH to make a repo before. So our problem is that, I guess, cat something got rid of our white space. But it wasn't cat. What got rid of our white space? Got rid of our white space. Xargs. Like Xargs. Unix Xargs removed white space. I want to put them back. Where do I put them back? Yeah. This is the opposite, though. This person's asking how to remove white space. I don't want to remove it. I want to put it back. But this kind of confirms that that's what removed it, I think. Okay, this looks promising. What is this /0? This is a different kind of new line escape? We're so close. Replace string. Replace the occurrence of replace string in the initial argument with names read from standard input. Also, unquoted blanks do not terminate input items. Instead, separator is the new line characters. I don't understand that, honestly. What if we try xargs cube white space? -d. Hmm. I don't know. Is this calling the command xargs inside of these backticks? I don't know how backticks work. New line? Quote? No, that didn't work. It should be a space though, right? Shouldn't it be a space? No. Make a difference. Delimiter. Oh man. We got any Linux gurus in the chat? I could definitely use some help. If anyone knows a way to pipe the literal contents of a file into the argument of another command. Or if you know how to use xargs to make it preserve new lines. Or even if you know what this tick marks thing is doing. I don't know what any of that stuff. If anyone knows those things, feel free to share in the chat. This is talking about trimming leading white space. Observe new lines. printf. This is about printing it though, like ultimately echo. I used echo to try to test this, but I'm not echoing it in the actual use in the script. Start backticks. So what if we split this out? I have almost no experience with shell programming. As you can probably tell if you're watching this. May work, but no bets. I'll give it a try. How's it going, Samurai? That worked. Seems like it worked. But is this running printf over and over again? I don't know. I definitely don't want to create one issue for every line. Missing type body, cat output text. Oh, okay, so skip xargs altogether. Skip xargs, just put cat inside of. Yeah, that's a good thought. Good thought. This would be. We need the quotes. I feel like we probably want the quotes still. You have the quotes? Yeah, you have the quotes. Cat. Text. Okay. Let's give it a try. Picture 2. Oh. Wrong repo. Yes, it did it. You are a wizard. I appreciate it. Okay. Sweet. So if we had a way, so we're close now. We have a lot of the parts we need. We can find all the things that, let's erase this. We'll save this. So we have, let's go over the parts we have. I'm probably going to wrap up before too long here, but just put a bow on it. We have the ability to find all the missing annotations inside of a module that we pass to a function. We get back a list. We take that list, we render it into the issue template, making a checklist for all the ones we found that are missing annotations. And then we have a script that will take our rendered issue text and create an actual issue from it on GitHub. So the part that would tie this all together would be iterate through all the libraries in the bundle, run the find missing annotations on either the, if there's a single Py file in the library, then we would run it on that. If there is a package, then we would run it on the package. That would create output, one for each library. And then we would want to go inside of each of those library repositories and run make issue. So like we would copy it in, I guess, maybe, or I don't know the best way to guarantee this context will be inside the library, because we want to make that issue for the library, not, you know, obviously not on this repo that I created today. So we could maybe temporarily copy in the rendered template and the make issue shell command, and then run them, run the shell command, shell script, I guess it is, from inside that repo. And it sounds like, to me at least, it sounds like that would work, I think. So I know that I have run commands on every library before. Let's see if I can figure out how I did that. I have the bundle here somewhere, right? Bundle. Oh, that's org bundle. We want the main bundle. Maybe I'll just go open. I have way too many things in my recents for it to be very helpful. Bundle. So yeah, this is actually output from last time I did this. Do I have it here? I do. There are occasions when all these separate histories for the terminals actually come in handy. So get submodule for each, and then we put the command into here. And in this case, I dumped the output into a file. So one part of the puzzle is figuring out if we have a package or a single file. I guess we could read setup.py. Because it would either be packages or modules. Or the other thing we could do is look for the existence of a .py file that's not setup.py in the root. Open. By modules. Sorry, I'm not really. It's probably not very entertaining to watch me think. Trying to think about how we would structure this. Would we want to make one more shell script that does all of this for us, right? Would we want one more shell script that runs this Python script well, so if we had one more shell script that we would put inside of this for each, it would need to do what? Let me try to write some of this stuff down. I'll just make a little text run on each file here. We'll call this little notes file. So it would need to determine if the repo has a package or single py file. Then it would need to run find missing annotations. On the package or single py file. Pass the results to make issue description. Maybe we should put this inside of a function as well. Well, no. The results are output text. No, the result of this is output text. This takes a list. Yeah, this takes a list. So maybe we'd want to put this in a function as well. So pass the results of find missing annotations to make issue description. That would give us an output file. So if we moved all this stuff temporarily into the repo, copy make issue.shell script and make issue description py and find missing type annotations.py. Copy all of these into the root of the repo. Copy all these into the root of the repo. Run this one to get the list. Pass the list to this one. That would create output.txt. Then run make issue.shell, which would read from output.txt, create the issue. Yeah. So I think this is our kind of pseudocode. If we could make one thing to run, like a shell script, I guess, probably, maybe a Python script. And then if we could have it do all of these things, and then we can run it using this git submodule for each. This can run arbitrary commands, right? It doesn't have to be doesn't have to be a git command, does it? -n head -n 1. Let's go readme. We'll definitely have something in it, right? Yeah. So I don't remember the trick why I did this true. There was a reason for it, but I don't remember what it was. I don't know if we need it. So will this print the first line of every readme? I don't know what this is doing. It's not printing the first line of every readme though. Unless, are they blank? No, they say introduction. submodule for each. Shell, so it does not have to be git command. It can be any shell command. Oh, I must have missed. Oh. Yeah. I'm always down for more streams in here. Echo. So why did this not run though? Evaluates arbitrary shell commands on each checked out submodule. My quotes match. Question, let's check. No. Yeah, you're right. That's right. So let's see. Control C. How do I get out of this? X. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's do this. There we go. Yeah, one extra quote. Good call. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Appreciate it again, Light Samurai. So if we had a shell script that did these things, we could then basically just execute git for this submodule for each, pass it our shell script right here, and then again, as long as it does all of these things, I think we would end up with what we would want. It would find all the missing annotations, it would create an output text with an issue description, it would run make issue, which would then create the issue from the output text, and it would do all of that inside of each repository, which should mean that it's going to run the gh command inside the context of that repository, hopefully, so that it will create the issue for that repository. So one thing we need to handle is if it doesn't find anything. If it finds any results, do these things. Else do nothing, right? If we don't find any missing annotations, then we don't have anything to do. We don't want to make like an empty issue or anything. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. But I feel like I got a lot accomplished with this. I feel like we're really, really close to being able to actually run this. And we could even do it manually right now using the stuff that I created so far, which wouldn't be terrible. I mean, there's like, I don't know, 100 or 200 repos. It's not only a few, but it's also not like insurmountable to do it manually if we had to. But this, using git for each and this mythical shell script that doesn't exist yet, I wonder if I can write this as a Python script. This would be a lot easier for me to do as a Python script, personally. I mean, I should be able to, right? Because it could just do, I mean, it could just do Python space and then the name of this script when it exists, right? I think that should work. We would need to make sure that the context is all right, though. So just here, it would be like Python space, the name of the script. I think that would work. Assuming the context works out right. I wonder if there's a way I could test it on like 1 or 2. 2 would be the best, I think. I wonder if there's a way I could test it on 2. I could have a local copy of the bundle and like remove all the submodules except for 2 on my local copy, couldn't I? And then just never push it. And then it would run for each, but there'd only be 2 submodules. That sounds promising. Sounds promising. I'm gonna leave a note that says that. Yeah. Test on smaller number of libraries by cloning bundle repo and removing all but a few submodules in the local copy. Then run. I'll put it in these even though this is not marked down, but whatever. Git submodule for each. Script.sh. True. We'll say it's a shell script for now, but I think, or I think it could be a Python script as well. Python. Py. I think that would work. Okay. I am gonna call it for now. I'm gonna push this. Push. Adding make issue dot shell and pseudocode for running on each and some notes. We'll check out cd into each submodule, run the script. Oh, instead of running for each, or do you mean with for each? Cd into the submodule directory, run the script. foamyguy main. Yep. Well, git. That's what the for each does. Yeah, submodule. So git submodule by itself is like a command for managing submodules. I think there's like add and remove and all kinds of stuff. In fact, I think we just had them right here, right? Yeah. So git submodule has all of these subcommands, but one of the subcommands is for each, which will basically do what you said. It will go inside of that directory and run an arbitrary shell. So like this one is running, read the first line of the readme file, basically. Call head n1 readme. I don't remember what this is for. I should try to find this. Maybe I'll do this real quick and then call it a day. Git run command on every submodule. I found this in Stack Overflow. This was not the one. There's a reason why this is needed. Maybe it was only for outputting though. It's something to do. This is it. This is it. Yeah, this is it. I think this is it. Yeah, this is essentially the same type of little cheater thing, I think. What if we just take this off? This succeeded. So my original test was on a grep. I did git grep. Yeah. So I guess it seems like it depends what command you run. If the command returns non-zero, then you need this in order to make it go on to the next one. Yeah. I also could have used that fancy thing I learned earlier. What was it? No pager? No pager, I think. Which would have been better. But that's what it is, I think. If it does not return 0, then you need to do true also in order to actually get it to execute the next iteration. Otherwise, it just gets stuck after the first one. Or maybe even before the first one. I don't even think it ran. I'm not sure if it ran on the first one or not. But that's what that true is about. Okay. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you, everyone who helped out. Le Samurai, definitely thank you for the cat output and the other stuff that you helped me with here. Niradoc as well. Thank you for the slashes. You helped me with those. Dexter, I think, helped me with a couple things earlier on. Decode and some other stuff. So, again, thank you to everyone who tuned in and helped out. I will be back for sure next week at the normal time, Saturday 10 a.m. Possibly sometime in the evening this week. I think what I'm going to do is like run this by Kattni. Now that we have a sample one, I'll take that sample one and I'll link it over to Kattni and then see if there's anything that she thinks should be different about this issue text. But as long as she thinks that's good, then we'll flesh out the rest of this. We'll figure out our how to actually write this script to do all this stuff, and then how to run it inside for each. And then eventually we'll pull the trigger and it will go through and make all of these things. Hopefully we can find a way, maybe we can find a way to have it just like output each command instead of running it the first time, so that we could do like a dry run to just kind of make sure that it's not outputting anything crazy or not outputting too many GH commands for each repo. But maybe I will do that on stream sometime this week, or maybe it won't be until next weekend. I'm not really sure. Kind of depends on what else is going on. But anyway, I'll definitely be back either way. Saturday, 10 a.m. next week. I think Scott mentioned... I want to say Scott mentioned next week Deep Dive is on Friday, but the following week he's off. So I don't know if he's doing a Thursday or if he's just off all week or what. If that is the case, if I'm recalling that correctly, then I'll probably plan on streaming that Friday, the Friday that Scott's gone, in the normal time that he does. Well, a little bit later. He starts at 4 p.m. my time. I'll have to wait till 5 p.m. my time, but so like an hour later. But if he's actually gone on that Friday, then I'll plan streaming then too. So if folks are interested in watching something when Deep Dive is gone, then I'll be around. But otherwise, thank you again to everyone, and I will catch you all next week. Hope everybody has a good day and a good weekend.